everybody, Monica here. Today I've got the Spellbinders card kit of the month for October 2020. It's a Christmas theme. It's called Dancin' Santa, and I'm going to be doing the box opening and then the first 5 cards out of 10. You get 9 pieces of beautiful, sturdy cardstock. One of them is a gold metallic one that I just love. A Christmas-themed stamp set with some Christmas sentiments. You get chipboard embellishments. You get these puffy stickers. Everything's so cute. I tried to use a little bit of everything to give you inspiration. Some puffy word stickers, your double-sided tape and foam squares. They have an inventory sheet and an inspiration guide for you. 10 cards and 10 envelopes. That's what I love about Spellbinders. You don't have to dig into your own stash to make a bunch of cards. A little baggie of sequins, and those are 2 different sizes. They're really quite pretty. And they're paper packs, which are pretty cool. They include 2 of each print, and it goes along with the theme. These are all Christmas-themed paper prints, and some of them have gold metallic in them. And you get a wide variety of different choices there. And I tend to use a lot of that in my cards when I do these kits from Spellbinders. And now the ephemera. Spellbinders cracks me up. I can't believe how much they put in these packs. And every month it's like that. It's packed full of all this ephemera. And like the paper, you get 2 of each one. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to lay all this out for you. I've sped it up quite a bit because it's a lot. But you get little characters, little word dies. You've got all kinds of accent pieces like those flowers and snowflakes and some candy elements, some Christmas ornaments. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. They crack me up, man. They don't know when to quit. So one of the things, though, that I found that helps me quite a lot is if I sort them by color. Then I can come up with card ideas quickly, and they all match. They're all matchy-matchy, and they make a lot of sense. And another thing that I'm going to start doing, because I never can use all of this, it really can be overwhelming, is I'm going to share them. I recently joined a Facebook card group, swapping card group thing. I'll put a link in the description for you. And we share cards every month. Actually, it's more than once a month. It's as many as you want to join. It's really a lot of fun. But because I can never use all of this, I'm going to start including some of that in my swaps. So there's a lot there for you. And you can come up with way more than 10 cards out of this. I was able to use quite a lot of this ephemera in my cards this month. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I show you my cards. Okie dokie. So for my first card, I used the little car with the Christmas tree on top of it, and I'm going to make a little scene. The black paper is supposed to be a road. I don't have the grass there yet. I figure that out in a little bit, but I'm trimming it to size to fit my card. And the way I like to mount these together now is I'm calling this my hinge effect. If you line the 2 bottoms up together and then you kind of just press them up and fold them onto each other, it lines it up perfectly. It works every time. Here's where I got my grass going, and the shape of the road emulates the word sentiment that I'm using. Oh, here's another tip. When you cut the paper, or when you adhere the paper, if you adhere it a little bit oversized, then you can trim it to fit exactly. If you try and cut it to match and then you adhere it and it's too short, you're not going to be successful. You can always take away, but you can't add, right? So then I just wrapped it up with the 2 pieces of ephemera. That's all I did to it. I kept it clean and simple. But you see how the little word sentiment, the word banner, it emulates the same shape of the road? Came out really cute for me. And I tried to balance things out. That's why the one on the right is a little bit different than the one on the left. So that's card number 1 for you. Okay, on to the second card. I'm using 2 different pieces of pattern paper, and they're both busy, so I need to separate them with some kind of an accent. And that scalloped edging right there, one of the pieces of ephemera, worked perfect for this. And I just glued it on there. And then here is where I once again adhered a piece of paper to my card oversized so that I could cut it to fit exactly. And then to pop the little reindeer off of the background, I put them on a green oval. It gives it some contrast, and that's it for card number 2. This card came out pretty cool. I am using a design principle called Repitition. And what I've done is, if you look at the little Santa there, he's got a belt on it with a gold belt buckle. Well, pretend the card is Santa, and I've given him a flowery belt, and now here's another gold belt buckle. So if you can learn the principles of design, which I touch on here and there in my videos, your cards will start to make a lot more sense. So it just worked out kind of cute that way. And then to keep it coordinated, I chose the gold word sentiment, or the green one, which has a gold outline to go along with the gold in the Santa and the background, the buckle. All right, so for this card, I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, and I'm using the stamp set that came with the kit, of course. I've got the snowflakes, and I'm using pigment ink. Pigment ink will stay sticky longer than regular dye ink. And you want that so that when you pour your embossing powder onto your stamped images, they stick to the images. And then you can melt the powder and it becomes embossed. It's one of the most fun things I learned to do when I first started making cards, and it's quite inexpensive to get into it. You just need a heat gun and some heat embossing powder, and there you go. So that's the heat gun melting the powder, and now I am adhering another piece of that gold paper that came in the kit. When I get these kits, I tend to use a lot of that gold paper. It's pretty. And I'm not sure if you know, but I am a graphic designer, so I always try to follow the elements of design. And in this one, I use the repetition with the background snowflakes and color. I'm matching the present there with the snowflakes and the sentiment. They all have blue in it, so it all coordinates together. And there's other elements of design which I will talk about here and there, but if you can learn them, it will really help you become a better card maker. Okay, so for the star of the show, I'm using the cutting dies that came with the kit. It makes a little Santa that dances. His legs swing back and forth, and you need to cut the pieces in red, white, skin color, and then black and gold. So you'll have to sort those out and figure out which ones you need of which color. One mistake I made was adding the hat before the beard, because naturally the hat would go over the beard, but I was able to bend the paper back and make it slip underneath there. And the beard lines up perfectly with the ears, and as well as some other pieces on here. Once you do one, it's easy to figure out and make another one, and it's just so stinking cute. Okay, so now we got his head done, and I need to make a handle, so that's why I'm gluing that onto the body. That little piece of cream paper there kind of looked like a Pez thing, which actually might be a cool variation of this cutting die. And here's where I made another mistake. The white fur doesn't go all the way to the bottom of his little jacket. It slips up a little bit, and when you do that, it lines up perfectly with the jacket behind it. You'll see what I'm talking about when you do it. So I put the white fur on the jacket. And now I'm going to put the belt on there. And that white pen looking thing that I'm using is actually a wax pencil. It's a Elf brand, which is kind of funny because it's a Christmas card, right? But I got it from the Dollar Tree for just $1, and it's perfect for picking up little items like sequins and little tiny pieces of paper and Santa noses. Anyway, I just kept adhering everything together. It's really pretty simple. The only thing that's kind of tricky is the back where the legs are going to swing. Okay, so I finished that up, and I'll do his eyes now. And instead of putting 2 little pieces of black cardstock in his eyes and cutting them out also, I just put a black strip of paper behind there so it would come through on the front. And there's the Santa nose. All right, and now I'm going to put the Santa guy aside for a second and decorate the front of the card. And like I said earlier, I just love those scallop borders that came with the ephemera pack. So I framed the card, the top and the bottom, with those, just using a little bit of wet glue. And the Santa is going to go on the right. And I use kind of high foam squares. They're actually circles, and cut them to fit. And then the little legs you see in the top right corner of the screen right there, they fit over one, and you need to leave enough room so they can swivel. And then I just added a green sentiment that said Season's Greetings and a little couple of holly leaves, and that was it for that card. I thought it came out nice and clean and cute, and I'm super happy with it. I've got 5 more coming for you. So I just didn't want to make this video too long because I know your time is valuable, and I really appreciate you watching to the end. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.